first of all, Pranam Swami Ji, and very good evening to all the distinguished participants. So, on behalf of NIT Durgapur alumni and NIT Durgapur family, as well as the student alumni interaction cell of NIT Durgapur, so I like to welcome all the participants, and it is my proud privilege and great honor to welcome Swami Ji. So in this webinar in the area of human excellence, now I request Mr. Shubhendu Shekhar Mahato, one of our distinguished alumnus of this institute, to welcome our Swami Ji as well as introduce Swami Ji in this particular program. Mr. Shubhendu Shekhar Mahato, please.
Revered Swami Nikhileshwarananda Ji Maharaj and all participants. We all welcome you all in this webinar. Topics face the challenge in life through the idea of human excellence. The purpose of this webinar is to instill value education to the youth of India, especially amongst the student who is normally missing in college curriculum. The idea is borrowed from Akhil Bharat Vivekananda Yuva Mahamandal, a non-political and non-sectarian organization working amongst the youth on man-making idea of Swami Vivekananda. It has been experimented that Swami Vivekananda's idea and teachings can be implemented in our day-to-day life and thus would enable us to confront many challenges. When individuals are raised, society is bound to rise. Thus we can rejuvenate our Mother India. Today we have with us a highly respected monk who is famous speaker to enlighten us on this subject. Now I invite Swami Nikhileshwarananda Ji Maharaj to kindly deliver his speech. The Maharaj is the Adhyaksha of Shri Ramkrishna Ashrama, Rajkot in Gujarat. In his previous ashram, he was a postgraduate engineer. He is not only an erudite monk, but also prolific speaker who inspired thousands of youth everywhere with the idea of Swami Vivekananda. Let us now listen to him attentively. Maharaj, kindly begin your talk.
Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kashchid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Dear friends, I am extremely happy to meet all of you this afternoon. Maybe not actually, but virtually through this webinar. I am very happy that Vivekananda is working hard for bringing value-oriented education among the students. And as a part of that attempt, this webinar has been organized. Put my ideas in the light of the message of Swami Vivekananda. When we are talking about human excellence, we must understand that Swami Vivekananda wanted all-round human excellence. Not only a one-sided excellence, that means the excellence from the physical health point of view, excellence from the mental health point of view, excellence from the intellectual point of view, excellence from the moral point of view, and excellence from the spiritual point of view. Excellent physical body, excellent mind with tremendous willpower, excellent intellect, excellent moral character, and excellent spiritual development. All this combiningly will give the total human excellence, and that will give the total personality development. That will be the development of the total personality. And Swami Vivekananda's life itself is the great example. His was a multifaceted personality, and his personality was all-round personality. Wonderful physique, very strong body. He had been right from childhood very much adept in all types of plays, all types of games, and he used to go to gymnasium also. So he had a robust body, an excellent physical health he had. It's a different thing. It's a different matter that afterwards, when he was wandering all over the country before going to participate in the World's Parliament Religion in Chicago, he was wandering all over the country, and that time there are many days when he would not be able to get something as food because he had taken a vow not to touch money. And so he would have to depend on begging. Sometimes he would get bread, sometimes he would not get. And all those things, and then those hardships. Because of the hardships, maybe afterwards his health broke down. And a lot of hardships, a lot of struggles. But initially, his body was a robust body, and that is why he could perform so much. That is why, in spite of so many diseases, he could perform so much of work within this very short span of 39 years. On 4th July 1902, at the age of 39 years, he left his body. And before a few days of leaving his body, he told, when I pass away, you cremate me here, showing a spot near the Ganges in Belur Math, while sitting and near a bell tree. Now there is another bell tree at that very spot, and that very spot now the temple of Swami Vivekananda stands. Because on that very spot, on 4th July 1902, when he passed away, on 5th July, his body was cremated as per his desire. But at that time, nobody imagined. They said, oh, you are so young. Why do you want to give up your body so quickly? He said, I have done enough for next 1500 years. I am not going without doing my work. I have done my job. It will take 1500 years for us to understand the significance and the real import of the message that he has given and to implement his message. If you go through the complete works of Swami Vivekananda, 9 volumes, his letters, his lectures, his talks, his conversations, and all that, if you go, so many ideas that he has given, it will be very difficult to implement those ideas because, first of all, we do not know now the importance of it. Gradually now, those ideas that he gave at the time was so far ahead of his time. Now in the age of globalization, we can well appreciate some of his ideas. And some of his ideas will be appreciated more by the future generations. That is why this great historian was asked this question, that how do you think about the importance of Swami Vivekananda? During the centenary of Swami Vivekananda, he was asked this question. And then he said, well, it is very difficult to evaluate the importance of Swami Vivekananda scale of history only after 100 years. Maybe the future generations will be able to understand his significance, his life, his importance better. So anyway, now what we had, he had a robust physical body, physical health, excellent physical health, excellent mental health, tremendous willpower, so many challenges. We are talking about, the main topic is challenges. Now, if you really want to face the challenges of life, then you have to have an excellent body, excellent mind, a strong mind with strong willpower. What he said in his own words, what we want is muscles of iron and nerves of steel, under which dwells a mind made of the same material of which the thunderbolt is made. And that is what he had, a mind of the thunderbolt and muscles of iron and nerves of steel. He had that, and that's why he could say like that. So, excellent physical health, excellent mental health, excellent intellect, the wonderful intellect that he had, what a capacity of intellect, and then excellent moral and spiritual development. It was a total development that he had. And this is what he said, that in order to have human excellence, we must have total personality development. Physical development of the personality, mental development of the personality, intellectual development of the personality, moral and spiritual development of the personality. And this is what he himself demonstrated by his own life and by his own message. And when we have that one, we will be able to face the challenges of life. It may be any challenge. So let us start with the present. For example, as an example, all of us are facing challenges in life. In fact, Swami Vivekananda was asked this question by Maharaja of Khetri, Ajit Singh Ji, who was his disciple. He said, Swamiji, what is life? Swamiji replied, my dear priest, life is the unfoldment of a being under circumstances trying to press it down. It is a struggle. Everybody will have to undergo struggle. Everybody will have to face challenges today or tomorrow, and we have to be prepared for that. And if we have excellent physical, mental, intellectual, moral, and spiritual health, and moral development, spiritual development, excellent physical health, excellent mental health, and excellent intellect, then we will be able to face these challenges squarely. So Swami Vivekananda has given us that know-how, how to face the challenges of life. First of all, we have to be very bold. Every challenge has to be faced squarely. This is the lesson that he learned, Swami Vivekananda learned himself when he had gone to Benares. When Swami Vivekananda had gone to Benares during his Parivrajaka days, when he was wandering throughout the country, at that time, when he went to Durga temple, when he was coming out of Durga temple, he found a few monkeys chasing him. They were all big monkeys, large size, with black face. And so Swamiji got afraid and started running. And the monkeys started running after Swamiji. They started chasing him. Now, it so happened, on the one side there was a big tank, a pond. On the other side was a big wall. So he could go only forward and forward. And these monkeys were chasing. After some time, Swamiji got exhausted. Now what to do? One side is the pond, another side is the wall. At that time, he heard loudly an old monk was shouting, "Hey, daro mat, bandar ka samna karo. Don't be afraid. Face the monkeys, face the brutes." And Swamiji, he stopped, he looked back, and he had a stick in his hand. He showed that stick like that. And all the monkeys fled away. Later on, in his lecture in America, he said, that day, I learned one of the greatest lessons of my life. And what is that? Face the brutes, face the animals, face the difficulties of life squarely. If you face them squarely, if you face them with boldness, courageously, difficulties will run away. But if you are afraid, the difficulties will chase you. So that fear has to be removed from our mind. Most of the time, first thing we have to remember, life means struggle and we will have to face challenges. But we will have to convert these challenges into opportunities for growing higher. Because Swami Vivekananda says, the greater the struggle, the greater the person who comes out of it. Greater the struggle, the greater the person who comes out of it. So struggle should be welcome, because the greater the struggle, the greater the person who comes out of it. But you have to come out of it. How you have to come out of it? Face the brutes, face the difficulties squarely, with boldness, courageously. So courage, that is what is required. Tremendous courage is what is required. And if you are courageous, any difficulty, if you face it, then the difficulties will run away. Now we are talking about the challenges of life. Now one of the greatest challenges in front of us is the challenge that is due to coronavirus pandemic. Okay, take it just as an example. Now, every one of us has got some apprehension, and we are all suffering to a lesser or greater degree due to this coronavirus pandemic. Now, I will not go for the solution at the macro level. What World Health Organization should do, what Government of India should do, what the health department can do, what government can do. I will not go into that. That's a different thing. What we as individuals at the micro level we can do. Now supposing coronavirus, what are the problems? One problem is that we have a fear that we may get coronavirus. We may be affected by coronavirus. That is number one. For that, what we can do, we can keep social distancing and all those instructions that have been given, keeping the sanitizer and all that, washing hands with sanitizer. And what are all the instructions that have been given, remaining most of the time at home, not going for seminars, but going for webinars like this. Like that, we try to implement all the instructions given by the health department, by government and other ways. That is number one. Second thing is that we have to have immunity. Now, immunity is of two types. One is the immunity that is called physical immunity. This physical, and always remember, the modern science, the modern researchers have proved that body and mind are interrelated. So most of the diseases are psychosomatic in nature. So body and mind, they affect each other. So as far as body is concerned, physical body is concerned, there are certain things that we can do to increase our immunity. For example, taking the vitamin C, lemon with hot water and all that, whatever your doctors have told. Second, more important is mental immunity. If you are mentally strong, if you have got tremendous willpower, if you have got mental immunity, then you will be able to face this problem of coronavirus pandemic in a much better way, and you will be able to save from them. In fact, there is a beautiful book that is Ralph Waldo Trine. In that, Ralph Waldo Trine says in his book, there is an example given, In Tune with the Infinite, that is the name of the book. The example is given that the goddess of plague was going, and somebody asked, "Where are you going?" She said, "I'm going to Baghdad to kill 15,000 people." Okay. Now, after a few days, when she was returning, she said, that person said, "You were telling that you are going to kill 15,000 people in Baghdad, but I heard that 1 lakh people died." She said, "I killed only 15,000, rest 85,000 died due to fear of plague." So here, we are dying out of fear of coronavirus. Many people are dying out of that because their mental immunity has gone so weak. They are already so much afraid of that. So that mental immunity will come when we are bold. Face the challenge. Face the challenge of coronavirus. We should not be afraid. And we should have analytical thinking. How many have died so far? And how many have been affected? What is the percentage, number one? And what is the guarantee that you will be affected, number one? It is quite probable that what is the probability percent that you will be affected? And if you keep if you maintain all the precautions, then how is it that you are going to be affected? Now, even if you are affected, how is it that you think that you will die? It's only 2.5% is the death, is the ratio of the death. So, and that also, most of the people who are dying are very old age or having a lot of ailments and all that. So there are some exceptions where young people are also dying, but that is a percentage is much less compared to the old people, whatever it is. So this mental immunity will come Most of the fears are imaginary in nature. We have to remember that. Imaginary. All fear, all bondage, all weakness is imagination. Speak one word to it and it must vanish. All fear, all bondage, all weakness is imagination. Speak one word to it and it must vanish. So all that fear of coronavirus, we should remove from our mind. Probability percentage also very less. And even if it is less, let us not die out of fear due to corona. Let us die out of corona, no problem. If at all we have to die. But let us not die out of the fear of corona. Most of the people are dying out of the fear of corona. That should be avoided. So that is how the mental immunity will be developed. That is also very important. So when we are facing the challenge of coronavirus pandemic, these two things, physical immunity, physical health immunity, mental health immunity, both will have to be developed. And this second one will come when we have got courage, when we have got boldness, when we know, analytically speaking, the probability of my getting is less. Swami Vivekananda said one his disciple, why are you dying again and again? Die only once, but we are dying out of the fear of death. That is not good. You die out of coronavirus, well and good, but don't die out of the fear of coronavirus. So this is second thing. We have to remember that and face the brutes, face the difficulties squarely, boldly. So that will come courageously. Now, third thing, that problem is because of the lockdown, economic slowdown. Because of the economic slowdown, there may be unemployment. Yes, but this is all a temporary phenomena. We need not bother about it. First of all, what this economic slowdown will continue. Some people are imagining, but what is the 90% of our worries are imaginary. That is, and same thing stands for everything. Even this our economic slowdown. We are thinking at present GDP has gone down, but what is the guarantee it will not go up? Why are we imagining now? And not only that, there is every possibility that now the whole world has gone against the dragon, that is China. And that will help us in our competition, this global competition, when the whole world is united because of the global competition, because of the liberalization of economy. Japan has already started shifting its industries from China to India. Many other countries are following. So it may be other way around. There is every possibility that there may be an economic boom afterwards. But now temporary, supposing somebody has been told not to come, or some people are getting 50% salary, some problems have developed, I know. But these are of temporary nature. And those problems also we must face boldly. Ultimately, how to face the challenge of life? I'll give you a golden equation. I will give you in form of only one formula that we gather from Bhagavad Gita. What is that? Karmani vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karmafal heturubhu mate sangosta akarmani. Arjun, Shri Krishna says, you have the right to work and not to the fruits thereof. So you do your best. Your work is to do work. Do it perfectly well, with full concentration, with full efficiency. I will give the result. The law of karma is supreme in the mental world, as law of gravity is supreme in the physical world. As you saw, so you reap. So if you do your work properly, you will get the result today or tomorrow with compound interest, not with simple interest. Don't worry. At present, you concentrate on your work and don't be worried about the result. We spoil the result by worrying about the result. We spoil the result by worrying about the result. Because when the worry is there, then concentration will be less. So Sri Krishna says, just concentrate on the job. That is why Swami Vivekananda said in a beautiful book, small book, The Work Its Secret, Work and Its Secret. He says, one of the greatest lessons I have learned in my life is to pay as much attention to the means as to the ends. As much attention to the means as to the ends. So let us give more attention to means, that is to the work itself rather than the end. It will come itself. If our work is proper, end will come itself. So that is about the economic slowdown. And just imagine how much Swami Vivekananda, see his example. In 1884, Swami Vivekananda was only 21-year-old, just a boy, just a young man. And suddenly his father died due to heart attack. And what happened? His partner, that is his father's partner, they betrayed, and there were false bills and there were false people who came forward to they're saying that your father had borrowed money and you must pay back. And his mother was a woman of self-respect. She didn't want anybody should point out any finger towards the family. So she started selling her ornaments. And he was from an aristocratic family. His father was Vishwanath Dutt, an attorney of the Calcutta High Court. And suddenly, because of the heart attack, whole situation changed. And his relatives, they evicted him from the house. So you see, all the calamities together, they fell. Number one, they were driven out from the house, nowhere to stay. They have to take shelter with the mother of the mother. Then, second thing, the partners of the business partners of his father, they betrayed, and then many people started wrongly taking this one, and all the relatives started laughing at the situation and all that, and so much of mental torture. And then, can you imagine? Swami Vivekananda was already graduate and he was pursuing law. That time, law was considered to be a very prestigious course. Almost all of them, all the great people had done law. So he was pursuing laws. He was in the second year at that time when his father died. And at that time, then suddenly what he had to do, he had to go for employment. And at that time, when unemployment was not a problem at all, apply, no reply. Swami Vivekananda, with so much of his genius, he is going everywhere and is not getting job. With great difficulty, got a job in Ishwarchandra Vidyasagar school, but there also he wanted to remain firm on his principles, so he could not go well with the son-in-law of Ishwarchandra Vidyasagar, and so he had to leave that job. Again, he was jobless. Then sometimes he will go do some clerical work for 1 or 2 hours and get something. So many days he had to go without food, and he would tell his mother that I have got an invitation outside, knowing full well that there is not enough food for all the brothers and sisters. So if he takes food, they will not get the food. So he will tell lie and say, I have got an invitation. And then he would remain without food. Just imagine how much he had to undergo suffering, but he did not bow down. He had also to face the problem of unemployment, but he stood his guns and faced the problem squarely. And later on, as we find, that situation little improved, and then he fought the case, got back into the house. He himself pleaded because he was pursuing law. So all the problems, one after another, he solved. Then again, another problem came. Shri Ramkrishna passed away, his guru, and again all these brother disciples, they were so much of very much in sorrow. And then they got together a small house. They had no money, so they rented a house, and it was a haunted house. What to do? Because there's no only 11 rupees rent they could afford. So they got a haunted house. They said, we are also ghost. We are ghost of Shiva. Okay, let us see. Let us live there. And the brother disciples and Swami Vivekananda lived there. And they were just living on alms. Sometimes they would not get alms. Sometimes they would go without food. all these difficulties passed through. Then he went for a parivrajaka days. Again, he had to go so many days without food. His whole life, if you see how much struggle he has undergone, but he has never given himself to any sort of disappointment or depression, because he had the tremendous power of spiritual power. So ultimately, it is the spiritual power which will give you the mental power and all types of power. And because Swami Vivekananda had that spiritual power, he could withstand it. And how to develop that spiritual power in the language of the modern science? What we have to develop SQ. If you really want success, if you really want to face the challenges of life, all types of challenges. I gave the example of coronavirus pandemic, but any type of challenge that we want to face, the ultimate strength is from SQ. So Dana Zohar, she is a professor in Oxford University. She has written a book. The name of the book is SQ, Spiritual Intelligence, the Ultimate Intelligence, where she says neurologically, physiologically, biologically, psychologically, from every point of view, there is a concluding evidence. There is something called SQ, which is the basis of both IQ and EQ. So what is IQ? IQ will tell you how to play the game of life. What is EQ? EQ will tell you emotional quotient, emotional intelligence will tell you how to play the game of life under changed circumstances with changed strategies. And what is SQ? SQ will tell you whether to play the game of life at all or not. That is your choice. What is the purpose of life? What is the meaning of life? Why we are here on this earth? What do we want to achieve before we die? All this will be decided by SQ. So once SQ comes, IQ, EQ will come automatically. Development of SQ is a must. If you really want human excellence, total human excellence, facing any challenges of life, we have to develop SQ. How to develop SQ? Swami Vivekananda gives a beautiful gist of the whole of Vedanta in his book on Raj Yoga, which gives us the total know-how as to how to develop SQ, which we do not get in the Western psychology. What is that? Swami Vivekananda says, each soul is potentially divine. The goal of human life is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature, external and internal. Do this either by work or worship or psychic control or philosophy. By one, more, or all of these, and be free. This is the whole of religion. Doctrines, dogmas, rituals, temples, churches, mosques are but secondary details. So when we practice these 4 yogas, Raj Yoga, meditation, Bhakti Yoga, prayer, Jnana Yoga, inspirational reading and reflection, and Karma Yoga, unselfish service. When we combine all these 4 yogas, when we practice these 4 yogas in our daily life, we will get success, happiness, and peace in everyday life. And we will get eternal happiness and peace and success and eternal life. And in the process, when we are getting strength, when we are getting spiritual strength, when we are getting mental strength because of the SQ, we will be able to face challenges of life, whether it is pandemic, coronavirus pandemic, whether it is problem of unemployment, whether it is problem of economic slowdown, or whether it is the fear, unnecessary fear or imaginary fear of dying, or some relative dying, this imaginary fear, this worries, everything will go when we develop this SQ by the practice of these 4 yogas in daily life. So now the last word about how to face challenges of coronavirus. One thing is that first we told how to develop our physical immunity. I have not gone into details. The health experts will be better able to tell you what to do for increasing immunity, taking lemon water and all that, and maintaining all the rules of social distancing and washing the hands with sanitizer and all that. So that is better than me. Second is mental immunity, mental health, immunity, developing that mental immunity. That will come when we analyze the situation in a scientific way, and we analyze the situation and remember 90% of the worries are imaginary in nature. So try to have a thorough analysis of the problems. For example, if it is pandemic, try to know what is really the probability of getting coronavirus. And then secondly, what is the probability of getting recovered, or what is the probability of dying? All this we have to remember, and we have to come to reality. That itself will reduce our pressure to a great extent. Now, Swami Vivekananda says, worst come worst, what will happen? Why are you so much worried? Worst come worst, what will happen? Death. Let us be prepared to die, because everyone will have to die. Remember, none is there but will be compelled in the long run to give up everything. None is there but will be compelled in the long run to give up everything. Not a single person is there who will not die. You may not die of coronavirus. You may protect yourself. You may die of cancer. If not, you may die of something else. You may die. There are millions of types of diseases. You may not die of disease. You may die just by old age. At the most, you may go on till 130 years, 130, 40 years. Out of old age, you will die. Or you may die in accident. There are so many ways of dying. So many ways in which people are dying. So, death is a must. The most certain thing in this world is death. And the most uncertain thing is the time of death. Remember, this law of life and death. Remember, whosoever is born will have to die. Jatasya dhruva mrityu, dhruvam janma mritasya cha, tasmad pariharyarthe, nattam shoshitum arhasi. Shri Krishna says Arjuna, when Arjuna says, oh, what will happen if I'll die? He says, nobody is immortal. Everybody will have to die. Everybody has to die. Remember that. Nobody can be saved today or tomorrow. Jatasya dhruva mrityu. Whosoever is born will have to die one day. And whosoever dies will have to reborn again. This is a cycle going on. Unless until somebody has realized God, has got nirvana, he will come out of the will. Otherwise that will go on. Punarapi janamam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jathare shayanam, iya sansare, bahudustare, kripya paho, pahi murare, bhajagovindam. Adi Shankaracharya has written a beautiful stotra that everybody will have to undergo this process. Dying, reborn, again dying, reborn. This is the process. Everybody will have to go through that. Some will die early, somebody will late, but everybody has to die. So what of that? That death will come to everybody. Face it boldly. We are prepared for it. Once you are prepared for death, then what fear can come? This is the worst of our miseries. What imaginary fear can come? What imaginary worry can come? Yes, we are prepared to die again. Let us die. What is that? Death is certain. It may come any moment. But we should not die ourselves. That is suicide. That is bad. If you commit suicide, then they say you will have to go to a ghost. You will have to take up a ghost body and undergo a lot of suffering. And again, reborn in some animal form and all that. You will not get human birth next day. So that is a reverse journey. Don't do that. But we have to be prepared. Not that we die out of by committing suicide. No, that is not the idea. Idea is that we will try our best to protect ourselves. And whatever situation develops, we will be very bold to accept that situation. Do your best, leave the rest. This is the formula. Do your best and leave the rest. First, analyze the situation. Then do your best and leave the rest. These two formulas, if we keep in mind, we'll be able to face any challenge in our life. What to talk of coronavirus pandemic? Any problem we are facing, it is a problem of unemployment, it's economic slowdown, It's mental health, it's physical health, whatever challenge is coming, challenges will always come. Remember, all the problems will have to be converted into challenges, and these challenges will have to be converted into opportunities for being greater, for being for development, our own development. It can be converted. These challenges can be converted into opportunities. This is what we have to do. For that, what we need is human excellence. What are the types of excellence? That is physical health, excellent physical health, excellent mental health, and excellent intellectual development, excellent moral and spiritual development. All these excellent will give you excellent total personality. This excellent total personality, this will help us to face any challenge in life, whether it is pandemic, coronavirus pandemic, unemployment, economic slowdown, whatever. And always remember, Swami Vivekananda says, life is nothing but the struggle of a being under the circumstances, trying to press it down. Always there will be problems. And the greater the struggle, the greater the person who comes out of it. If you give examination of graduation, you'll get certificate of graduation. If you give examination of post-graduation, you'll get certificate of post-graduation. But you have to work harder. If you want doctor to be put in before your name, DR, then you have to work still harder and give another examination. So the more examinations you give, the more struggle you do in life, the more you prosper, the more you go forward, the more you become great. That is the idea. So I'm very happy. I have just given some to my mind, but I'll be very happy to give answers to your question. Request you to, I'll be very happy to share. If there is any question, I will be very happy to answer your questions. That will be better rather than I'm going on theoretically on what to do, how to face challenges of life. You give me the question, I give the reply. Is it okay?
How to train mind to get out of
procrastination. Engage my mind into a work and that is okay. There is a question here, how to train mind to get out of procrastination and engage my mind into work or a habit that too harder or more difficult than to be in the prison of comfort zone. Yeah, wonderful question. So you will have to come out of comfort zone naturally, and that is very much necessary if you really want to go forward, and you have to come out of that. And so what I would request you that you keep one signboard in front of your frame, that Swami Vivekananda. The message is arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. So always you will be given. So many people told me that sometimes there is lethargy comes, sometimes we are lazy, sometimes we become despondent, sometimes we become depressed, all that. But when we remember this, and sometimes we become lazy, when you remember this sentence of Swami Vivekananda, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Remember that. Keep that sentence written down in a beautiful form with the Swami Vivekananda's beautiful photograph. And so go on reading that. Whenever you're feeling little depressed, whenever you're little low spirits, when you are feeling lazy, just read that sentence. And I think that will help you. Okay, any other question? How to control anger in workplaces? What should do? Yeah, very beautiful question. You know, anger management has become a very important phenomena, and there are so many books that have come out how to control anger. In fact, one book from our publication department is already there. How to Control Anger by Swami Buddhananda is available. Another book is there, Mind and Its Control. Both the books should be read. But I will give briefly, because we have very less time, that you know why the anger comes. Have you ever thought about it? Why the anger comes? If you go, if you introspect, you will find anger comes when our expectations is not fulfilled. When our expectation is not fulfilled. I wanted some type of treatment from you, some type of behavior from you I was expecting, and when I don't get that behavior, or when I don't get whatever I was expecting, then I become angry. So always remember, everything will not happen according to our Lord. होता वही है जो मंजूर खुदा होता है. Whatever happens by the will of the Lord. That does not mean we should not do any work and keep tight. No. So what we should do your best and leave the rest. First you do your best, then accept whatever result comes. You have to accept it wholeheartedly in the spirit of sportsman's spirit. Then you will not be despondent, you will not be disappointed. And when you are not disappointed, then this anger will not come, the reaction will not come. So we have to avoid any reaction. This is most important. We should not be reactive. We should be able to absorb that shock. So this is one way, that is remembering this thing. होता वही है जो मंजूर खुदा होता है. Whatever happens, it happens by the Lord, happens by the will of the Lord, and whatever is for our good, accept it. Don't expect. Expectation will always bring misery. Expectation will bring sorrow. Expectation will bring anger. Number one. Number two, and knowing full well, second thing is ego. I. When the ego is strong, the willpower will be also strong. Simultaneously, anger will be also strong. So whenever we keep more and more angry, that means our ego is becoming stronger. Then we have to remember what is the price we have to pay. Let us introspect. Is it good to get angry or not? And if it is not good to get angry, then our mind, we have to tell that whatever we are gaining through expressing anger is much less compared to what we are losing. So this introspection has to be done. We have to curb that ego. Remember that formula. होता वही जो मुझे खुदा होता है. Whatever happens. Everything will not happen according to our wish. So we have to accept it. But that doesn't mean we will not try. Try our best, then leave the rest. Can you try better than best? Then you try better than best. Then either accept it cheerfully or accept with tears, whatever. But you have to accept it. It depends upon you how you accept it. Accept it cheerfully, sportsman's spirit. Whatever cannot be cured must be endured. Whatever cannot be cured must be endured. So when we accept that situation, then anger will be less. Then our reaction will be less, and our reaction will be toned down. How to get free from the bondage or attachment with someone with whom I am deeply connected with emotionally, but which drags me down both mentally and emotionally and stop me to fulfill my purpose of life? Beautiful question. Now, as I was mentioning to you that book, Work and Its Secret, there Swami Vivekananda has beautifully explained that attachment is the source of all our misery. Attachment is the source of all our misery. Attachment is also the source of all our happiness. But attachment is the source of all our miseries. Now what should be done? Now supposing we don't have any attachment, what will happen? Do we want to become like walls? Swami Ji says, walls do not have any attachment, but they are after all walls. So that does not mean that we should become walls. So we should have attachment. We should have the capacity of attaching our mind fully, but at the same time, we must reserve the power of detaching ourselves at will. Now that is the secret of work. That is the secret we have to learn. And this type of capacity of detaching our mind will only come when we have power of discrimination. This power of discrimination or Vivek Buddhi, that will tell us this is all temporary. Everything is temporary in this life. Nothing is permanent. Only one thing is permanent is change. Change is permanent. That means everything is going to change. There is nothing more permanent than change. Everything is going to change. So this too shall pass. Tomorrow, this situation will not be there. So any difficult situation, remember, it's a temporary phenomenon. Now, but this particular problem of attachment is many people are suffering, because once they get attached, it is very difficult for them to get detached. And we know that we are suffering. Any more clinging is going to give us, we are burning our fingers, and yet we cannot detach ourselves. The bee came to sip the honey, and his feet get stung. It gets tied there, and it cannot come out. Suffering, suffering, suffering. So we must reserve the power of detaching at will. That will only happen if we remember this phenomena, that the whole world is in transition. We have come here for a very brief period. When Swami Vivekananda met for the first time Shri Ramkrishna, he sang a beautiful song. That song is in Bengali. Mon cholo nije niketane, samsara bideshe, bideshir bheshe, brahmokeno akarane. My mind, let us go. Mon cholo, let us go to our own abode. This is not our abode. This earth is not our house. Let us go back to our own house. We have come here only as a traveler. So Swami Vivekananda said, if you remember that we come here as a traveler, it is a very short journey. Supposing you are traveling by train and the train has stopped for 5 minutes. Okay, you take up a cup of tea from the tea vendor. Have tea. Now you say, no, I will not leave this station. And you get down. What happens? You cannot complete the journey. No, you enjoy your tea and get back into your compartment, go on to the next station, again take some food. Don't get down there. Even if you have to get down, get up, take the food, but don't stop your journey. We have come here only for a brief while. We come to the platform only for 5 minutes for taking tea, and you say, now I will not leave the platform. I like this platform very good. So this is what is happening. Our feet, our mind gets clinged, is stuck up. Why? Why this attachment is coming? Because we think this is all permanent. Nothing is permanent. And this one sentence you must remember, none is there but will be compelled in the long run to give up everything. Your attachment says, I will not give up. What? You say, I will not give up. You will have to give up. None is there but will be compelled in the long run to give up everything. I said, I will not give up that person. That person will die. What will you do? Or you will die. Then what will you do? A time will come when you have to separate yourself. If you do not separate, time will come in between to separate you. So you have to you mentally prepare yourself. This particular idea that the whole world is in a flux, we are travelers in this earth. For the earth, we have come to this globe for a very brief journey. There, if you remember that, then only you will not get attached. But at the same time, attachment is very good. But this remembering this particular thing that we are travelers will also give you the power of detachment at will. So there should be as much power of detachment as that of attachment. Then only you can enjoy the life. There are all who cannot enjoy. They do not have attachment, they do not have detachment. We don't want that. We want the capacity of attaching ourselves, but we also want the capacity of detaching ourselves at will. That will come if you remember the whole world is a temporary phenomena. Okay. How to deal with the change management and difficult people? Wonderful. Very nice question. Now here, when we are dealing with, there is my book, Nursing Relationship and the Art of Sharing and Caring. There I have given some formulas that this relationship is a thing where if you really want that this relationship should be on a sound footing, we have to remember unselfishness goes a very long way. Unselfishness, wherever selfishness is there, it is nurturing relationship like nurturing a plant. So first of all, there should be good soil, number one. Number two, then there should be we have to pour water over it. What is water? Water is love. Love is the water. Now, and that water, remember, that water should not be salty water. You know, when I was in Porbandar, we constructed some colonies out of as a part of our earthquake rehabilitation project. And so I wanted, when we constructed a colony, there should be garden, there should be temple, community hall, dispensary, school, everything we did. And I thought, let it be Nandanvan. So we planted many trees and all the plants died. Why? What happened? You see, water was, lot of water was there, but Porbandar is near the sea. If you just dig 10 feet, there is water, but it is saltish water. Saltish water will not do. So what we did is we had a water harvest project. We had a dam, and we conserved the rainwater, and from that sweet water we provided that sweet water to the plants, and all that we have become beautiful trees. Now they have become. We have a beautiful colony there near Porbandar. If you go there, you can see it. So whatever it is, so what we want is water, that is love. But what type of water? Sweet water, not saltish water. What type of love we want? Not the saltish love. What is saltish love? Selfish love. That is saltish love. And this most of our love is unfortunately salty water. It is a selfish love. Even the parents, I asked one person, one girl was weeping. What happened? No, I wanted to marry the person, and then my father is not loving. I asked the father, what is the problem? Boy is very bad. No, boy is very good. Then, but he is from a different caste. So, do you think that your daughter will be happy with that boy? Yes, that I know, but I will have to face the caste people, and he is from a different caste. So I said, that means you are selfish. You know that you are not caring for her happiness. What you are caring for is your happiness. This is saltish love. Outsidely, you feel that you are trying to protect your daughter from going for intercaste marriage. Ultimately, analysis? What is there? Yours is a saltish love. So most of the problems are arising because we have got saltish water, saltish love, selfish love. So if you really want that relationship, proper relationship, when you had that one, then understand that fear is the most enemy for all of us. In spite of knowing that the fear is impractical or in future, still we cannot come out of this fear. Oh, very good. Very good. Okay. Remember this one story. That's all. You have to remember one story. I tell this story to all the students. And this is a story that was told by Swami Vivekananda in America. In America, as you know, he went to the Chicago Parliament of Religions, and while talking about Hinduism, he gave them the shloka from the Shweta Upanishad. Shrunvantu Vishve Amritasya Putra Aye Dhamani Divyani Tastu Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parastat Tameva Viditvati Mrityaveti Nanya Pantha Vidyayanaya. I have found the ancient ones beyond all miseries. By knowing him alone, you shall be free from all miseries. And then Swami Vivekananda said, my dear sisters and brothers of America, let me call you by this sweet name. What is that? Amritasya Putra. Ye, the children of immortal bliss, holy and perfect beings. Ye, divinities and sinners, it is a sin to call a man so. It is a standing liable on human nature. Come up, alliance, and shake off the delusion that you are sheep. Your soul is immortal. Spirits free, blessed and eternal. You are not matter. You are not bodies. Matter is a servant, not either servant of matter. So this is the message that Swamiji gave. You are come up, alliance, and shake up the delusion that you are sheep. And then he used to narrate a story. A lioness was going along in the forest, and in order to cross a flock of sheep, the lioness jumped. It was pregnant at the time. So it gave birth to a small cub. The small cub fell into the flock of sheep, and the lioness went to the other side and died on the spot. Now this small lion cub started weeping. Why? Because it had lost its mother. So now the mother of the sheep started taking care of it. And this small lion cub started going along with the sheep, eating grass like the sheep, playing with the sheep, running with the sheep, bleating like the sheep, bah, 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 and behaving like the sheep. Now, after a long time, another lion, big lion, came to the forest, and he saw at a long distance all the sheep are going, bah, 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 they are bleating. And he was astonished. At the end of this flock of sheep, there was a small lion, and it was also bleating. Bah, bah, bah. Huh? What is the matter? In order to understand this matter, it came nearer. In order to understand why this small lion is bleating like sheep. And after seeing that big lion, that's all the sheep started running. Bah, bah, bah. They became so much afraid. And this small lion also started running. And this big lion caught hold of, hey, where are you going? Why are you afraid? This flock, this sheep, they are afraid of me because I am lion, they are sheep. But you are lion like me. Why are you afraid? And the small lion started, it was so much afraid. It just went on tumbling and crying and weeping and started more and more clinging. Bah, 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 bah. I am a sheep, I am not lion. The big lion said, you fool, you are a lion and yet you are telling you are sheep. No, you are lion. And the small lion started weeping more and more. Now the big lion got so much angry, caught hold of it by the throat, dragged it near a pond. Look at your face in the water. Look at my face. Your face resembles that of mine, of the sheep. Just look. And when the small lion looked at, my God, I am lion. Yes. Now remember, now give up this bleating, bah, bah, bah. Remember your lion. Come with me and become the king of the forest. He became the king of the forest. This is the story Swami Vivekananda used to narrate and said, always remember, come up all lions and shake off the delusion that you are sheep. Your soul is immortal, spirit free, blessed and eternal. You are not matter, you are not bodies. Matter is a servant, not ye the servant of matter. So this question was there that we still get afraid. Remember, whenever fear comes, remember, I am lion, I am not sheep. I am lioness, I am not sheep. Any problem will come. Nothing can come because I am Chidananda Rupa Shivaham Shivaham. I am the birthless, deathless, ever pure, ever blissful Atman. Death cannot do anything to me. Death can do something to my body. But I am birthless, deathless, ever pure, ever blissful Atman. Nothing can happen to me. Nothing can happen to me. As I told you just now, Jatasya dhruva mrityu dhuvam janma mritasya tasmada pariharete nattam shoshitum arhasi. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, Arjuna, don't be afraid. Don't be anxious. Don't grieve. Why? Because whosoever is born will die and whosoever is die will be born. Don't worry about that. And then, vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grinhati navaparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani sayyati navani dehi. He says, this body is like a worn out cloth. When the cloth becomes worn out, you throw that cloth and get a new cloth. And you become happy with that. You know, to get a new cloth, you become happy with that. You don't weep. So dying, what is death? Death is giving up your old cloth, your old body, and you get another body. So it is like that. So why are you afraid? Why are you weeping? Why are you afraid? So don't be afraid. The greatest thing that can come, greatest catastrophe that can come is death. I am lion, I am not the sheep. I am birthless, deathless, ever pure, ever blissful Atman. Nothing can affect me. So this is what we should do. So how to control my emotions? This EQ will come by SQ. It is remembering, and this, if you can every day practice these 4 yogas, as I told you, that is practicing meditation, that is Raj Yoga, and then practicing prayer, that is Bhakti Yoga, and then this reading inspiring books and reflecting over it, that is Gyan Yoga, and unselfish service. These 4 yogas, if you practice every day, gradually you will be able to control your emotions. Another thing is that if you want to, you control mind and you control emotion, controlling the mind or controlling the emotion, whether it's the emotion of attachment, whether it's emotion of anger, all these emotions, if you want to control, you have to control the mind. Now, how to control the mind? The control of mind will be easy if your mind is pure. How the mind can be made pure? By pure intellect, by eyes, by ears, by mouth, from all these things, from your senses. If you take pure intellect, that means looking at good things, reading good books, reading powerful books, not reading bad books. Similarly, looking at good things, not looking at bad things. Hearing positive things, seeing positive things, speaking positive things. Do not criticizing anybody, but while have a word of appreciation for others. So if we have the good food, whenever you see the programs in TV and all that, that is also good. It should be good food from the eyes, from ears. Positive things should be, your reading should be positive thoughts. Whatever you see should be positive. Whatever you read should be positive. Whatever you listen is positive. Whatever you speak is positive. Then your mind will be positively acclaimed. And then once your positivity comes to your mind, once the power will come, glory will come, this positivity will come, then it will be easier for you to control the emotions, whether control the emotion is that of attachment or the emotion is of that of the anger and all that. My mind tends to reach in old pattern. Is there a way to persistently change the habit? Yes, it can be done, because you must remember there are 2 types of mind. One is a conscious mind, behind that is an unconscious mind. Now, it takes time to change the unconscious mind. So it will not come in a day. So you have to give auto-suggestion, is that one method. And how the habit is formed. Sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap the character. This is the process. So positive thinking, bombarding your mind with positive thoughts every day, this will gradually result in your positive thoughts will result in positive actions. And these positive actions will result in positive habits. So that is how you will be able to change the old pattern. Go towards the north, the south will fall behind. Go towards the east, the west will fall behind. Go towards the positive things, negative things will fall behind. So automatically your old habits will be changed when you go towards the positive things. You will not have to work that will hard. During conflict inside mind, how to choose what is right, what is working, how to take right decision. Yeah, this is a very good question. How to take a right decision? What you should do is that take up a pen and paper and try to find out the various alternatives. Alternative A, advantages, disadvantages. Alternative B, advantages, disadvantages. Put them in writing. Now what is happening is that we are worrying over the things for hours together. Worrying is one thing and reflecting is another thing. But when you reflect, when you are writing, reflect over it. What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? If you go on writing that and then compare with an analytical mind, how many plus points with alternative A, how many plus points with alternative B. That is how you can take a decision. Not only that, preserve that paper. So that, remember that when you take an alternative A, there are certain advantages, certain disadvantages. Alternative B, certain advantages, certain disadvantages. But advantages are more in B, but disadvantages are less. So write down yourself in your diary. I am now following alternative B because advantages are more and disadvantages are less. These are the following disadvantages. I know it. I know it will come. I know these problems will come. But they are less compared to alternative A. So I purposely inviting these problems, and I will face the problems boldly. Then you will not suffer. You will not have any repentance. Why? Because you knew, you expected those problems to come. You expected, but these problems were less than the compared to alternative A. So this analytical thinking is the best way of taking a decision. If there is a wrong action being done by seniors and hence wrong action, how can we accept this as will of God if we do not challenge the incorrect or unjust action to make a change? Again, you are forgetting the equation. I never said accept it. What I said is do your best and leave the rest. First, you do your best. Now, supposing you find out certain things, you try to find out, go to the next boss, go to the next boss, go to the supreme boss. Your duty ends there. Now, if the decision is not taken by the seniors about that is none of your business. You are pointed out. It was your duty to point out. You are pointed out, your duty ends. Now, if anything happens, you are not responsible because your duty was over. Do your best and leave the rest. So I have never said that we should not take any action. Never. How to use our spiritual energy so that we are not bound with karma? Well, what do we mean by spiritual energy? Bound by karmas will automatically come. Bondage will automatically come. When you do good action, good result, then when you get good result, then also bondage will come. When you do bad action, bad result will come, you will get bondage. Bondage will come automatically. But if you do any work without the attachment to the result and without attachment to the work, then you will not get bondage. For that, you have to practice. And that is really Karma Yoga. That is the secret of work. That is what Swami Vivekananda said. That don't be attached. Do everything. But let there be no attachment. Pranam Swamiji, the world is getting closer and closer. How to detach ourselves from this hyper-connected world where everything seems virtual. So, I will give you the golden formula. Remember that I have got nothing to do with this world. This is a temporary phenomena. I have to go back to my house. And this house is the real thing that will have to go after death. So this is a temporary place. I have come on a very, very short journey to this world. So let me not get attached. Sankshare bideshe bideshir bheshe brahmo keno karane. That is the Bengali song. Mon chalo nij nikatene. I told about that. Okay. Sometimes we have to show anger to show protest and injustice. How to approach it? Wonderful. Now you see, showing anger and getting anger are two different things altogether. Showing anger is very good. But most of the time, we are telling that we want to show anger, but actually speaking, if you are under the control of anger, then this is bad. If the anger is under your control, this is very good. Yes, sometimes Shri Ramkrishna used to say, you have to hiss in order to see that you are not taken for a ride. Yes, you should not bite, but you should hiss. Hissing is necessary. You should show anger. You should not be angry, but you should show anger. But showing anger and not getting angry, very difficult. Very difficult. But it is possible by mind control. If you can do that, it's wonderful. No problem about it. Okay, how to handle the situation when you are getting failures one after another and you realize that you are on the wrong track of preparation where working hard is wrong way. Now you have nothing to do, and if you are feeling like you have to exist in the world and no other gate is open for you. This is very negative thinking. Now remember, always, whenever all the gates are closed, God always keeps one gate open for you. You will find out that gate. Never think. This is very negative thinking. Number one. Number two, failures. Swami Vivekananda says about failures. Failures, they are the beauty of life. What would be left? What would be life without that? Failures are the stepping stones to success. No success comes without these stepping stones of failures. So That does not mean that you should deliberately fail. But when failure comes, do your best and leave the rest and accept whatever comes. You accept that result. You have tried your best, okay? Accept. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You are playing cricket, you have won 5 games, you have lost 3 games. What of that? This losing, failures is a part of life. And unless until you fail sometimes, you will not understand the importance of success. Not only that, the failures are the stepping stones to success, number one. And second thing is that the failures are the great teachers of our life. Swami Vivekananda says, I have learned more from failures than from success in my life. They have been my teachers. These failures, they are my teachers. So Swami Vivekananda says, failures, they are the beauty of life. What would be life without that? The whole poetry will be lost if there are no failures. And then he says beautifully, I never heard a cow tell a lie. It is always a cow and never a man. So a man makes mistakes. A man makes mistakes. What of that? Again, he can improve upon the mistakes. So never think, and whatever has been done, gone. Let the dead pass, but it's dead. Jo ho gaya so ho gaya. Bitita hi bisar de, aage ki sun le. Whatever has happened, something has happened, some mistakes have happened, some problems have. Forget about them. Now think about the bright future. Forget about the past. Learn, of course, but learn from your past. Learn from your mistakes. Build on your present and build up your future by concentrating on your present actions rather than always thinking about something. This is why this happened, why this happened, why this happened. Learn your lessons and go forward rather than always contemplating on your bad past. Bitita hi bisarde, aage sudlai. Let the dead pass, but it's dead. And never have this negative thinking. Always have positive thinking. Never think that all the gates for me are closed. No. Absolutely not. And as I told you, greater the struggle, the greater the person who comes out of it. But you have to come out of it. If you sit like that, if you tell like this, that, oh, all the gates are closed, then you have accepted your defeat. Then you cannot become great. You cannot become great. You have to come out of it. Greater the struggle, the greater the person who comes out of it. So, forget about all those things. Never have this negative thinking and never succumb to such negative thoughts. And you know why these thoughts are coming? Now, let me be very frank, particularly with the youngsters. I have to be very, very blunt now. Now, when we do fasting, what type of fasting we are doing, you know? Many people are doing fasting. At least 4 times they will take fruits and so many other items. Why? Otherwise you will become weak. And when we do fasting, mental fasting, you know what happens? We do nirjala, not even taking water. Mental fasting. Gandhiji said, prayer is my mental food. And we are not having any prayer. Why? When I tell people, when I tell the students, please pray, I don't have time. I tell them, meditate, no time. I tell them, read the books of Swami Vivekananda, very powerful books. Read, no time. So with this, your trump card, you tell me, I will not pray, I will not meditate, I will not read the positive books, I will not have any books, I will not read any books, I will not have positive thoughts, I will not go for reading books on self-development, I will not go for reading books with positive thoughts, I will not bombard my mind with positive thoughts every day, I will not take any mental food for days together, months together. What happens? A little problem and you speak like that. What will happen? My all gates are closed. Let me die. Let me commit suicide. These are all negative thoughts. And they are coming because your mind has become very, 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 very weak. Why it has become weak? Because you did not give food to the mind. Prayer is the food. Meditation is the food. Reading positive thoughts in the book is the food. You are not taking mental food and now telling my mind is very weak. It has to become weak. So, with folded hands, I appeal to all the youngsters, please give some time. 86,400 seconds are deposited in your account every day morning. Out of that, give at least 1% for your mental health. 1%, I am begging 1%. 864 seconds 14.5 minutes, not even 15 minutes. At least give 1% of your time for having mental health. Problems will come, surely come. Any problem will come. If there is immunity developed, mental immunity is developed, if your mental health is okay, if your mental is strong, no problem. Of course, for some time, there will be some effect. You will become a little depressed. You will become disappointed. You will fall down temporarily. Again, you will get up and again march forward. Never accept defeat. Of course, sometimes you may fall. What of that? Fall down, again get up. So arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Sometimes I am feeling some spiritual knowledge. How can I handle it? As I used to share some experience, to whom I can share it. Please guide me. Now, in our tradition of Ramakrishna Mission, we say that your experiences, spiritual experiences, should not be shared with anybody. Because there are two reasons. One, there comes comparison, and if other person not getting, then they will feel bad. Second, other person having other types of experience, you are having different types of experience, they will compare, and they will come to misery or you will come to misery. Number three, so there should not be any comparison about spiritual experiences. Of course, you can share with your spiritual guide, and he will be able to tell you, the spiritual guide, the mentor will be able to tell you whether it is hallucination or it's a real vision or real spiritual experience. And these visions, these dreams, these spiritual experiences have got no value. Zero value. I tell you, it is zero value. You may be giving so much of importance. Unless and until there is some change in your personality, unless and until there is some change in your character, unless and until your habits have been improved, unless and until it has got a practical effect on your life, then only these experiences, spiritual experiences, have got any value, whether it is got a zero value. So what will happen because of the spiritual experience? So that is Bhagavad Gita says, when you get this, when you develop spirituality, what will happen? Be approaching more and more the status of a Sthita Prajna. What will happen if you become Sthita Prajna? The Lakshana, what are the Lakshanas Sthita Prajna? How to know that we have advanced in spiritual life? Then try to compare these Lakshanas. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmani vatmana tushta sthita pragyasta duchyate. This is the first Lakshana. This Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. The person who has given send off to all the kamanas, all the bad desires, and that person is only has got sthita prajna, has got the steady mind. Second, dukkeshu anudignamana sukeshu vigata spiriya vitaraga bhaya krodha sthita dirmuni ruchyate. So a person who is not affected by either misery or happiness and remains steady under these two things, two extremes, and who has given stand off to anger, to attachment, that person is a sthita prajna. Now, it's a very high state. It will not come in a day. But to the extent we are able to reach that state, to that extent we have made spiritual development. But ultimately, that is the height where we should go, we will be going, we will be reaching, and that is high we should aspire for. How students should deal with current pandemic situation and placements? They are quite worried about placements. Any message for them? Question from Zijan Alam. Okay. Now, as I told you in the beginning itself, that this pandemic situation is a temporary phenomena. Always remember that. Any phenomenon is temporary phenomena. You know, Abraham Lincoln used to keep a signboard on his table. What was written there? This too shall pass. He said, why do you keep? Because you see, whenever I get success, whenever I get glory, then I become egoistic. But remember it. When I put this one, this too shall pass, then I don't become egoistic. At the same time, then again, there are some failures or there is some problem and I become a little disappointment. Again, I remember the formula. This too shall pass. So it is a temporary phenomenon. This pandemic situation is a temporary phenomenon. Don't be worried about it. But of course, you should try your best. Now is the time when you should work harder than usual. Now is the time when for the time being, You say goodbye to all types of vestiges of time. That does not mean you should not laugh. That does not mean you should not smile. That does not mean you should not have positive entertainment for some time. But most of the time, try to conserve your time and in your positive activities and constructive activities, and convert, as I told you, this situation also, this challenge, convert this challenge into an opportunity for growing higher and greater. Okay, to whom can we share our spiritual knowledge, and how can we handle? As I told you, this I have already given. How to increase focus towards a particular thing or goal when my mind is running like a mad horse. This is the problem of all the students. Concentration is a big problem. Why Swami Vivekananda got success? Only one reason: tremendous power of concentration. So Ralph Waldo Emerson says, the secret of success in trade, in war, in every management of human affairs is the concentration of mind. And Swami Vivekananda said, if I had to do my education over again, I will not undergo the present system of education. I will first control I learn first of all how to control my mind, how to concentrate my mind. Information I can have at my own will. I'll go to the library and get information. Now you need not go to the library, just Google search, click, and you get all the information. That is, information is not going to solve the problem. Education is not the amount of information that goes into your brain and runs undigested all your life. Education is being and becoming. Education, the concentration is the essence of concentration. Concentration is the essence of education. That's what Swami Vivekananda said. He had so much of concentration, yet he wanted more. How much he had? Only one example. Swami Ji was sitting in his room, that is Belumat. If you go to Belumat, you will find a big temple of Shri Ramkrishna near Calcutta. Just behind that is a two-story building. On the first floor, there is a room in which Swami Vivekananda used to stay. On 4 July 1902, at the age of 39 years, he gave up his body on that. Before a few days, one disciple named his Sarachan Chakravarti, he came on that day. He mentions in a diary that when I went there, I saw Swamiji was reading a book. The name of the book is Encyclopedia Britannica. You know, big volumes are there. They were all spread throughout. And the disciples say, my God, so many volumes. It will take whole lifetime to finish all these volumes. Swamiji said, what do you say? I already finished 10 volumes within these few days. I am now reading the 11th volume. What? Such big volumes you have finished within few days? I can't believe. You don't believe? Okay. From the first 10 volumes, you ask any question you want to ask. And the disciple, Sarat Chakravarti, asked many questions. And Swamiji replied all the questions and correct replies, sometimes quoting the very language of the book. And the disciple was very much stunned. Swamiji, this is a miracle. Swamiji, this is not miracle. That is the power of concentration of mind. So concentration of mind is very important. Very important. Focusing the mind is very important. Without that, you can't get success, neither in games, nor sports, nor music, anywhere. Concentration. So how to get concentration? C is directly proportional to P, where C is equal to concentration of mind and P is equal to purity of mind. And how to get purity of mind? As I told you just now, by taking pure food from the ears, from the eyes, and from the mouth, and avoiding evil food, bad food from eyes, ears. This is the way gradually mind will become pure. And also you must have another thing that helps in control of mind. And because when control of mind comes, then the concentration also comes. Another thing that helps is to have a fixed routine. You know, sometimes most of the time, our life is very haphazard. Sometimes we are getting at 7 o'clock, sometimes we're getting at 8 o'clock, sometimes getting at 9 o'clock. There is no fixed timing for getting up, no fixed time for sleeping, no fixed time for eating, no fixed time for study. So that is why we are not getting the concentration of mind. So a fixed routine, if we try to follow, it will help us. So then focus, I have already told you how to increase focus. Okay, already some questions are over. Any other question? Oh, so many questions are there. Babare. Oh, what is the difference between any goal and attachment of results? Because I am confused that propose that suppose when I have to prepare for an exam, then is it worthy to keep your aim to get the rank? Number one, it is also a kind of attachment to results, but everybody told to have eye on my goal, aim with this top mark. But I am confused, that is, if not in expectation and attachment towards results of the exam, other than to grab knowledge during preparation. Okay, very good. Now, I am not telling you to give up the goal of your life. Supposing if you have fixed up your goal that I want to get, say, 90% examination, you keep that goal. But for that, what you have to do? You have to concentrate on study. But rather than, if you do not study and go on thinking about the goal, about your result, that is not going to give you success. I will give an example. There was a boy, a student, and he was in 12th science. And he was told that if you get good marks in the examination, then I will send you to America for higher studies. Okay? So that boy, when he went for study, he was just thinking, oh, how much result whether I will get good result or bad result. He is just studying. At the time, what he is thinking, his mind is, eyes are in the book. Mind is, oh, my father has told, if I get good result, then he will send me to America. After a few pages, again he thinks, okay, if I get good result, then I will be sent to America. So where should I go? Maternal uncle's house, or I should stay in hostel? Again, he said, no, I should stay in hostel because then there will be more freedom. And again, few pages. Achha, supposing I stay on a hostel, then will it be costly more, or what type of foods I should take? And all these things, when he's thinking when he's studying. Do you think he will get good result? You decide. Similarly, another boy, he was also in 12th science. Already he had failed thrice. So his father told, now this is last chance. If you fail now, no more study. We have got a very good shop. I'll put in the shop. Now this boy is thinking, he started studying, now thinking, my God, will I fail or pass? After a few days, again, after a few pages, oh, supposing if I pass, my God, then my father says he'll put me to shop. Again, after a few days, oh, if I do not go to college, then I will not get girlfriends also. Again, after a few pages, oh my God, if I have to this, if I am stuck up in shop, then I will not get good girls, and I will have that wife also will be like this, and that she will be from village and not learned and all that. Oh my life. Then after a few pages, oh, my life will become, if that happens, then my life will get poisoned. It will be a very, very bad life. Then best is, then I will have to commit suicide. Okay, if I have to commit suicide, then how should I commit? By under the railway train or by taking poison? No, I think so, the poison. Okay, from where poison will be held? Which store it will be available? All this he's thinking while studying. Now, will he get good marks, or will he fail or pass? You have to decide. He is not studying. He is all the time thinking about the result. Either way, the other fellow is thinking, if I get good result, I'll go to America, thinking all about America only. And this fellow, if I fail, what will happen? So, once you have decided, I want high percentage, good for, just write down, this is my goal. Now forget about the goal for the time being. If for 90% I have to study 6 hours per day, for 95% I have to study 7 hours per day, start studying 7 hours and start studying 7 hours with full concentration rather than always thinking, hi, kya hoga? What will be result? My God, what will the result? Always thinking about that is not going to help you. How do we really arise, awake, and keep moving on? Just by arising and awakening. Early morning, keep an alarm, and whenever alarm rings, keep it at a distance and just fall down from your bed and there will be some injury, and then put water on your face. That is how you should physically awake. And what Swami Vivekananda meant was mentally awake. Swamiji, you should one get detached from the worldly things, right from the inception of such thought, or after a moment of realization faced in caused by any incident which inspires, and the reason for detachment being achieving ultimate happiness. No, go on getting attachment. Then one day you will get shock. That time you start getting detached. If you feel like that is better. Okay, go on getting attachment, and when you if as long as it is going on well, let it go on well. Then when the problem happens, then start getting detached. You can take that line also. This is what happens in Bengali. They say, "Keu dekhe shikhe, keu theke shikhe, keu thekeo na shikhe." Some people learn by others' experience, some learn by their own experience, and some do not learn by their own experience also, and go on getting more and more hits and more stumbling. They go on stumbling more and more. So if you want to follow that process, third way process, I don't mind. Go ahead. Material needs are dominating most lives today. Consequently, the spiritual requirements are neglected. Hence, in the face of difficulty, one collapses in seconds. Can you please throw light on how to learn lessons in this way? That's what I told. Again, a very, very simple solution. Don't starve fully. Don't starve mentally, completely. Take little food. I told you 1%, 14.5 minutes, 86,400 seconds. 1%, 14.5 minutes, 864 seconds. What you have to do? 1 minute prayer in the meditation, prayer and meditation in the morning, and 1 minute prayer and meditation in the evening. 4 minutes gone. 5 minutes of positive thoughts, intake of positive thought. Some very inspiring book, say book of Swami Vivekananda or any other book that gives you very powerful thoughts. Romarola says, Rabindranath Tagore, a Nobel Prize winner, he on literature, he told Romarola, he is also Nobel Prize winner, and he told Romarola, if you want to study India, if you want to know India, study Vivekananda. In him, everything is positive and nothing negative. And when he started reading the books of Swami Vivekananda, he got so much of power, and he got so much of inspiration that he wrote a biography on Swami Vivekananda. Then later on, he told about the words of Swami Vivekananda. His words are great music, phrases in the style of Beethoven. I cannot touch these sayings of his, scattered as they are, through the pages at a 30th distance without receiving a thrill through my body like an electric shock. So this electric shock you have to take every day. 5 minutes morning, 5 minutes evening, 1 minute prayer morning, 1 minute prayer in the evening, 1 minute prayer meditation, 1 minute meditation morning, 1 minute meditation. This is the minimum 1%. If you can say more, if you can give more. Minimum 14.5 minutes if you give. Don't fast too much mentally. And if you get this much mental food, at least it will save you from complete frustration. It will save you from suicide. It will save you from complete disappointment and deception, and complete sort of frustration. So I'm thankful to all of you. All you can ask the questions by email, nikhileshwarananda@gmail.com, and also you can visit my website, swaminikhileshwarananda.com, where FAQ, frequently asked questions, are there. And you can also visit my YouTube channel, Swami Nikhilesh, the YouTube/Nikhileshwaran. There you will get so many of my lectures, and that will, I think, solve your problems. But even then, supposing if you do not get solved, if your problems are not solved by those lectures or by the FAQ that is given in my website, you are free to write to me by mail, send a mail to me at nikhileshwaran@gmail.com, and I will be happy to reply to you. So I'm thankful to the organizers for giving me this opportunity of meeting so many youngsters virtually, and I'm sure at least something will happen. All of you just remember, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. And remember, you are a lion, not a sheep. And I pray at the feet of Swami Vivekananda to bestow his blessings on all of us, so that we can, after reading his books, after reading his thoughts, we can follow them in our life and have human excellence, total human excellence, and we are able to face the challenges of life squarely, and we are able to get success, happiness, and peace for our own selves. And then with this transformation in our life, in our personality, also have transformation of our nation. Through character building, we will have national building, and from national building, we'll have the whole world building. So this is the message that was given by Swami Vivekananda. May he grant us strength to follow his teachings and build our personality and build our character and build the nation, and leading to happiness, peace of the whole world. Thank you very much. लोग को कोई आवता नहीं थी।